Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to True Telos Trading. This video is a little bit late this morning, but we did get a trade this morning. As a matter of fact, we woke up at 3 a.m. this morning trying to catch those big early moves from those stocks that we've been seeing in the market with a very, very low float make tremendous tremendous heights. Like I think today there was a stock that went all the way up to like 500% on the morning, which is absolutely ridiculous. We did get a trade in today, but we are red on that stock today. I used my early morning blue sky setup for exactly what we have been seeing lately in the market. This seems like this strategy matches verbatim. And we're going to get into that when we get into that stock of today. But again, like I said, today was a negative day. It was a negative trade. We're actually down $61 and some change. Let's go ahead and get into that stock of the day to see how we traded. This is the scale that we normally use when we wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. We call it the True Telos Trading Early AM strategy. This strategy was developed primarily for the stocks that we see moving, making those super big 1,000 to or 500, 100 to 500 to 1,000% moves in the market. This happened earlier this year where we had the same theme that we are seeing now. The theme is stocks with recent reverse splits with a float below 1 million shares, primarily or more confidently below 700K shares. We see them making these huge moves just because they don't have a lot of shares to trade. You know, these stocks are trading in excess of 300,000 shares every minute. So we have a stock with a float below 1 million, and we see it trading those 1 million shares in less than 5 minutes. Those stocks have the potential to go super high, and that's also not including if this stock has a high float, high percentage of people that are short on the stock. So if we have if the stock comes out with news, or even if it doesn't come out with news, if there's a lot of volume on these stocks with these super low floats, the price goes higher. The price goes a lot higher, and those people that are short the stock have to cover their position. That means they have to literally buy back all the shares that they, or most of the shares that they had in the stock. And when more people are buying the stock, more people are not more people. The stock is actually going a lot higher. And that's what we like to see here in the market. That's what we want to see with these stocks, with these super low floats, with these recent reverse splits. So let's go ahead and get into the trade of today. The stock that we traded this morning, the ticker was TWG. Today's date is December 8th. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. December 8th, 2025. The stock's float was definitely below the 700K shares as we see here. As a matter of fact, the stock's float was 522,000 shares, so about 200,000 below. So this would be a 3 here. The stock was, when we traded it this morning, like I said, we woke up and traded it at 3 a.m. and it was already past its all-time highs. The all-time highs of this year being close to, let's go ahead and see where, being close to $10. When we traded this stock this morning, we traded it at, let's go ahead and see. When we traded the stock this morning, we bought it at $15.47. So it was definitely above those all-time highs for this year, this past year. This will be a 2 here. It was trading above the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average on the stock was all the way down there at 322, and we traded it at $15, a little bit over $15. So this would definitely be a 2 here. The stock did have a recent reverse split. Well, kind of recent. It's on 7 21. So back in July. That's a little bit more recent. I mean, it's within the year, but we might for this one. Let's go ahead and say that it's a zero, because seven back in July. That's a fair bit. That's more than 5 months off, so we don't want to say too recent. I did count it towards it, but let's go ahead and not count it. So this will be a zero here. The stock had gained definitely gained over that 90%. It went from that morning, let's see, all the way back here at, let me check where the stock was this morning before we started trading. All the way back here, like $5, $6 before it started popping up. So yeah, about $5. So definitely up over that 90%. It's the one right here. Oh, that's not the one. One right here, and it was the number one stock in the morning at the time we traded it. This would be a one here. If we had all of these together, this gives us a score of 9. And according to our True Telos early AM strategy, 9 is a good quality stock. The strategy that we used for this stock was breaking high of day. I should really go into a little bit detail. I want to see this stock making new highs from the previous day, or just from the previous move off of whatever catalyst or volume that's coming in on it. And that's exactly what this stock did. When we get into the chart, I want you to see that this stock definitely went from $14 and broke that 14 from the previous day's trading. So that would be Friday. Broke that high and went all the way up here to 1589. So let's go ahead and get into the chart so you can see how I traded this stock today. Before we do that, let's go ahead and finish filling this out, because this was a loss that we took on this trade today. Breaking higher day, because we want to see the stock moving. We want to see that volume and that price rising on that stock in the morning. We don't have a lot of volume at that 3 a.m., but there isn't enough volume to cause these big spikes in that stock. What I want to see is a volume that's a little bit over 50 to 60,000 shares per minute. But again, I don't think I really saw that. We'll get into that volume when we get into the chart. What did I lose on this stock today? I lost about a dollar 50 a share. Let's see. I lost about $1.50 a share on this stock. I'll have to do that math, but I think that's about right. It was a big loss that we took with small share size, just because the stock was a little bit up there in price. If it's, as a matter of fact, I can go ahead and say that it's probably a trade that I shouldn't have taken, because we are on a small account, and buying shares upwards of over $10 probably shouldn't be something that we do, because we can't buy as many shares to make a profit as we want. Even though that price moves at 15, it goes up by the dollar and not by the cent. So it's a higher probability that we make a little bit of profit on that stock. But not being able to buy an ample amount of shares will kind of put us at a disadvantage, especially if the stock, if it's a negative trade. Just like it can go up those dollars a share, it can also go down those dollars a share, and that's what happened to us today. We were in this trade for about 3 minutes. Let me go ahead and check that for the time. I actually made 2 trades on this stock today. The first one, we were in there for 3 minutes. The second one, we were in there for about 2. But let's go ahead and get into that chart to see how we traded this stock today. This is our stock that we traded this morning, TWG. Just to show you, this stock today, despite from when we traded it, actually did move considerably well in the early morning session, or going into the afternoon. We traded it way back here, because we saw that massive pop that this stock made. We We traded a little bit late. This is what I said I was doing on Friday. I will hesitate to buy down here and then buy the top. And when I buy the top, I see the price moving down and I have to sell the entire position. That's what we did here. We saw the stock moving up, breaking high of day means I want to buy before that break because we have confirmation due to MACD being positive. We have an ample number of shares for the morning. This was not an ample number of shares. Probably a good reason why I hesitated because I didn't see that 50,000, that 40 to 50,000 share per minute. But then I saw that it broke this. It broke the high of the previous session. So this was one of those blue sky setups, and it was also the highest that stock uh, had been for a while. This is the all-time high of this year on this stock. I was thinking that we are going to see some of that parabolic movement where the stock goes from that 15 up to that $30 a share. I thought this was going to be that stock at this very moment. I was definitely right, but not time wise. This stock went and made a high of about $26 today, and it did it in the afternoon session instead of that early morning. We did have a stock that, as soon as I traded this one, it was our big early morning AM mover. It moved about 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. It was this stock right here, CETX. I make these marks this morning. So I was looking, I saw that this thing had popped up right here, right at market open, only 10,000 shares of volume, but from four to damn near $8 a share. Well, it's a pretty big movement. After I saw it pull back, I kind of took it off the radar, didn't really look at it. Had made that trade on TWG and had shut my laptop. And since I was looking at this was this stock's point. This was the pullback or the resistance point. This was the next resistance point after that. And then I didn't make a mark after this one because I said if it goes above this resistance point, we can see parabolic movement. But since it didn't do it right here, this stock was taken out of view. And as we see over here, this is where I would have got that trade in because we see the stock moving. I want you to look at the volume here. This early morning, the stock is moving off of 48, 60, 20, 29. I'm not looking for that 29. I'm looking for these big for early morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is a lot of volume to be seen at that time. And for a stock that matches the criteria with a super low float and a recent reverse split all the way back here in October, definitely a stock that was on the radar, but because it didn't move the way I wanted it to, we took it off the table, and we took a lesser quality just because we did see that little bit of movement, even though it wasn't on a lot of volume. We tried to capitalize, but we didn't actually get it. We tried to do the same. We actually did the same thing twice on this stock. We saw the pop, waited a little bit too long, bought the top, and then caught the flush. Seeing this thing here moving back up, still off a bad volume. I didn't buy here because MACD was negative, but we saw MACD turning back positive. We saw a little bit more volume coming in. The price is jumping up. We buy up here, and then we catch the flush. We did it twice today, so that's something that we definitely need to avoid. I know from now that I need to be seeing the volume in these stocks before I take that trade. It can definitely be a false breakout if I don't see the volume coming in, especially in the morning. I think what I'm going to do is I want to wake up a little bit later. I want to try this early morning AM strategy again to see if we can hit those stocks that are moving off this theme criteria. We have low float and low float in the recent reverse split. I'm looking for the volume to come into these stocks. I'm looking for them to already be near or past all-time highs for that year. I need to see 40 to 50,000 shares worth of volume per minute on these stocks to be moving. I need to be able to see a blue sky setup before I'm able to trade something like this. So that's what we're looking for in these stocks that we're seeing in the morning that are making those big moves. We are trying to capitalize on those, sticking to the strategies that we have so that we can mitigate risk and maximize profits. If you enjoy what you are hearing, if you enjoy what you're watching, please don't be afraid to like and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, please don't be afraid to ask. As always, I'm an open book. Welcome to True Telos Trading. We'll see you all tomorrow morning.